Alright, good morning everybody. My name is Jeremy,
Colin.
Dustin.
and we're here to present our game topics.
We don't have a title, so it's just a Group 6 working title.
Alright, so our basic idea is to bring a role-playing game to mobile platforms. We're going to be working with Android, and we're going to go for less of a storyline to more of just grit and grind action. So for Android now, it'll be more simple. And so over here you have the joystick. This is just a demo, rough draft. And on the bottom you have your life and your mana, and on the side you have your attacks.
So we can also develop for iOS if someone has a Mac currently. So that's our mock-up. And basically the idea of it is we're taking the style of, I guess, Diablo, taking a lot from that and just making it into a mindless RPG on mobile. So we have the 3 different classes, and you basically can play the same game, but it's going to be completely different because of the style of gameplay between 3 different classes. And there's going to be basic attacks as well as attacks that take your mana, and you can only do so much. And it's going to be a lot based on leveling up by defeating monsters, so there's going to be a progression system to keep you going, and we'll give you an idea of the characters.
Well, this is the easiest style play class, the archer, and it'll be equipped with bows and arrows to attack from long distance. And compared to the other characters, we might just keep it a reasonable magic to health ratio.
And I guess we just tell you that the attacks would be, the arrows would be like your second thumb would point anywhere on the screen, and the arrow would come to that point. So it'd be kind of easier than having to deal with physical attacks, or the second one would go with magic. So this is the sorceress, which is basically you're going to be dealing all with magic, but it's still ranged attacks. And then we'll have the physical character, which is going to be the hardest because you're going to have to be up there getting hit all the time, so it's going to be hard to deal with your health. So our basic gameplay, we're going to have a town with NPCs in it, and as soon as you leave the town, there's going to be multiple levels. I guess it would be like maybe every day would be a new fight. You go outside town, and there's going to be multiple waves that come right at you. It's just going to be enemies. There's very little exploring. It'll just be a lot of gameplay and fighting. Kind of just a mindless cell phone game is the target audience of just someone who can just pick up a cell phone and start playing. You don't have to read into it, get into it, and like kind of devote your time to the game. You just pick it up, put it down whenever you want. So you just go outside of town, and they just start attacking you. And after a certain, you go inside of town after every day. You can level up your character, progress through the game, and after a certain amount of time of this, you'll fight a boss, and maybe after the boss, a little story will happen and everything. So it'll still be a little story, but we'll stay away from exploring and having a lot of quests and everything. So the AI would be the monsters, the NPCs, and any scripts we write for it. Anything else?
That's our presentation.
Any questions?
You said you weren't gonna like really, do a lot besides, focus mainly on the action and play aspects of it. But like when you walk outside of town, would you have a different area, maybe with a different like set of obstacles and things like that? So it'd be kind of different each time, way. So you wouldn't just have the same ways coming at you over again, the same scenario every time and replay a new level.
Well, monsters are obviously going to progress. That was one thing. Each time you go out, it can be different. Some new monsters are going to get harder. We're also thinking maybe having 3 bosses, and after you beat the first boss, maybe you go to a different area. So we were thinking that you can have separate areas that can change. So it's, change it up a little bit.
How much variety were you thinking of having with the enemies?
It depends. I mean, that's as much as we can really in the 2 months we have to develop. It's obviously going to start off with basic enemies, and like the next day go basic enemies, and maybe a little more, and each day will kind of add on to like harder and harder enemies until it gets to the boss. And the whole point is like we want to spend the time more on developing addicting gameplay and good enemies and all just something that the leveling system progression, so more time on making it the gameplay good, and rather than the story and all the other stuff that can sink a lot of time into development.
Any others? Okay, let's thank them. Oh, sorry.
Item system is a possibility, but we were thinking more progression just through leveling up, and you can choose maybe a spell system, a spell trees where you can progress your spells and attacks and everything. So items are a possibility, but it, be maybe an afterthought until we get the rest of the system done.